So, um, so on the topic of illuminate, I thought of the full moon that we had recently, and in a big celestial body sitting there reflecting light over the Chicago skyline. I'm driving down the city with 80s playlist going on, and it's bringing back memories from like 30 plus years ago. So go back to senior year, spring quarter. I'm in Northwestern. I'm a biomedical engineering student, and it's a beautiful day outside, but I'm stuck inside this building we call the Technological Institute, or Tech, which is this very morose, somber, dark building, poor lighting everywhere, and it's the home of engineering. I'm in this B-side lecture room, which is at least bright because it's fluorescently lit, but it's narrow. You have one door in the front leading in, and right next to it is the professor's desk, chalkboard, and he's standing there, and then two columns of seats go all the way up. Me, of course, I sit in the last row, in the last column, as far away as I can. I'm sitting there trying to concentrate on this British professor's drawing voice, trying to explain advanced differential equations. Meanwhile, what I'm really focused on is, why does this man wear the same white shirt and skinny black corduroys every single day of class? It's a mystery to me. Also, that one single door next to the professor opens up. A head pops in, looks up. It's my friend John, who is like friend from day one of Northwestern. He looks around, looks up, says, "Bosh, come on." Professor's looking at him. He didn't say anything else. Professor's looking at him, looking at me, and back at John, looking at me and thinking, what's this guy going to do? So I'm cringing, but I get up, walk down the steps. Excuse me. Sorry, I'll be a minute. Go outside the door. And John's like, "Bosh, let's go." Let's go where? Kentucky. When? Right now. I'm like, for what? The Kentucky Derby. Like, when's the Derby? Tomorrow. I'm like, do you have tickets? Do we know anybody there? What's going on? And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. People are outside in the car. We're ready to go. We decide on this today. We'll figure out the ticket thing when we get there." I'm like, okay. So walk back in to the lecture room, say excuse me to the professor, walk back up to the top of the steps, last row, put my stuff together. Meanwhile, the room is quiet. People are just watching. Pack my backpack, fling it over my shoulder, and then walk back down. Excuse me, bye. And walk to the door. And so we get outside at Tech, and then this car, which probably made 4 people, maybe 5 if we're lucky. I'm number 6. We get in the car, we start driving. 8 hours down to Lexington, get to John's grandfather's house around midnight, spend the night. Next day, we have a nice hearty breakfast, and it's off to Churchill Downs. We got tickets for the infield. Infield's this big open field, no seats at all. And just walk around the infield, and this bunch of, for the most part, sunburned pale people drinking, partying, throwing bees and flashing. It's the South, I guess. So, and I forgot to mention it's Ramadan. So I was actually fasting. I'm like, if I'm going to be in this whole den of whatever, I should probably fast. But it is so hot. It's hot, it's humid, I'm burning up. By noon, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. So I call my dad, like, what do I do? And he's like, what are you doing in Kentucky? But after we get past that, he's like, well, you are a traveler. You got that dispensation not to fast. I'm like, thank you. But it is easier said than done to break a fast in the middle of the infield at Churchill Downs. Everybody's got coolers, and there's 2-liter bottles of Pepsi, Sprite, whatever. They're not filled with any of those things, really. So if I wanted mint julep, I could probably get them in a couple minutes. But it took me an hour to find like a stand where I could buy water and wait in line and finally break my fast. Sun's blaring down, and people are passing out from the heat. But all of a sudden, the trumpets blare. It's time for the Derby. Everybody goes crowding against a fence to grab a place. I'm 5'8", and I'm like, didn't see a damn thing. The horses went by. I heard them. Didn't see. I don't know who won. I had no clue what happened. that's not really the point. The point is we had stories to tell all the way in the drive home. We got straight back in the car for 8 hours. We had stories to tell the whole way. Probably get back to Evanston around midnight again, probably. And it's a full moon, beautiful full moon, spring night in Northwestern. And we get in, and for some reason, they're in the middle of North Quad. There's a big open all-campus party, and the rest of our gang is there: Paul, John, Kurt, and music playing. And there's this girl, Tiffany. I've had a crush on her for 3 years, and we start dancing, laughing. We're having a great time. It is the best night. The light of the moon fades into or transitions into the dawn sky, and we're exhausted. We have had a great night. We're laughing and enjoying ourselves. And to this day, I'm in love with that whole night. Not necessarily Tiffany, but I mean just the night of camaraderie, of friendship, And I look back and I'm so glad John pulled me out of that class. I don't remember a lick of different cue at this point in time. I never use it, but those spontaneous moments, they're what memories are made of, right? And so, even in some of the dark periods of my life, I can look back at those things and say, I've had a great life. I have good friends, I have a loving family, and I've had some fun, excitement. Not every night's a party underneath a full moon, but the light of those memories can suffuse through the rest of your life. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. I know that we'd love to see you up here more often. We're going to read one of the prompts, and again, I was just handed this, so I don't know what I'm about to read. So, the shadow I hold tightly to is my trauma, heartbreak. Next up, we will have Saida Raza. Saida Raza was born in Karachi, Pakistan, but raised in the Chicagoland area. Saida Raza is a high school educator in the western suburbs and a doctoral student at the University of Illinois at Chicago, where she is interested in exploring the stories and narratives of South Asian Desi emerging adults as they navigate their lives across borders. Drawing from her own experiences of living at the Hyphen, Saida will be sharing a piece written in 2019 about her thoughts when seeing her students participate in a Coming Out of the Shadows event at their high school in the southwest side of Chicago. Please welcome Saida.
Undocumented and unafraid. Stand with us and say, undocumented and unafraid. I sink even lower and put my head down, unable to look up and acknowledge what I was doing. Silence. Stand with us and say, undocumented and unafraid. More silence. Stand with us and say, undocumented and unafraid. My heart tells me to run down and grab the mic, share my truth, share my reality. I remained silent for the majority of my life, but I'm here now because silence is not an option. I'm undocumented, unafraid, and unapologetically Muslim. Only a few years ago, those were my words, my feelings, and my commitments. Then what happened in between? Why did I take 2 steps back when I was running forward, full steam ahead, thinking that as a teacher, I would not be complicit in the culture of silence, the culture of neutrality, the culture of invisibility? The same culture that furthered my own silence when I was a student. Yet here I was, brokering that same silence and refusing to give in to what I know would liberate me from constantly keeping my guard up, using a combination of pauses, lies of omission, and half-truths to hide the very real truth of who I am. Something happened that pushed me down this path of pessimism, frustration, and exhaustion. I see those students come out of the shadows, and all I can think about is that it won't get any easier from here. In fact, for those high school seniors, it's about to get a whole lot worse. Long days working, taking classes, studying, commuting, multitasking. Long nights worried about how to piece together enough money for tuition. Who to turn to when you don't even know what to do next. Which scholarships to apply, only to look at the criteria and see that legal status is required. Making your heart sink and your mind wonder, why? What did I do to deserve this? Why does this have to be so hard? I just want to learn, to stay in school, to earn a degree, to make a difference, and most of all, to make my parents proud. But here I am, one of the lucky ones, they say, documented, graduated with 2 degrees, fully employed, earning a paycheck, and living the dream. Weren't we called dreamers in the first place? Didn't I accomplish my dream? Then why do I feel like I am so tired? Tired of being disappointed, tired of getting my hopes up, tired of missing the moments that matter the most. To hear my grandfather's deep laugh as he shares stories about my own parents' childhood. To hear my grandmother teach me about life's challenges. To hear a house full of aunts, uncles, cousins, and all the family friends that were still your honorary family come together during times of celebration. I just wanted a normal life, a life centered around family, not one broken by borders. And yet here I am, feeling guilty about not doing more. Remembering that maybe my own voice can support these students in ways that I cannot even imagine. But my brain keeps stopping me from doing what I know would make me a better teacher. It reminds me, do you want to be known as the undocumented teacher, the illegal teacher? No, I just want to be known for me and nothing more. But can there be a me when I conceal a huge part of it? Right now, my heart and my brain are clashing at the same border towns that Gloria Anzaldúa talked about. The border towns in which you are neither from one or the other as you teeter back and forth, struggling to comprehend your reality. Or rather, your multiple realities, shifting with each context, bringing about a new manifestation of your identities. And as I continue to struggle internally, I wonder, are my choices truly protecting me from a fictional reality that is simply the product of my frustrations and fears? Or are they further alienating me from coming to terms with my existing one? A reality that acknowledges that I am simultaneously undocumented, Pakistani, Muslim, and everything in between. And that to know me means knowing every part of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Saida. So we're going to read 2 more of these prompts. First one is, illuminated from my/these shadows has been a drive to accomplish big things. The shine I never knew I held is inspiring others to learn more about Islam, simply by living my life in an authentically Muslim way. Next up, we have the Woodward Dream. Kashif and Michelle founded the Woodward Dream in New York City as an American folk ensemble in 2015. Using Michelle's background in musical theater and dance, and Kashif's love of sounds that invoke nature, their music encompasses earthy acoustic tones and vintage harmonies with a little bit of drama, a lot of longing, and finding meaning through the process. Over the last decade, they've evolved from playing cover songs to developing an original repertoire, many of which were composed specifically for performances at the Muslim Writers Collective in New York City. Please welcome Michelle and Kashif with the Woodward Dream.
Assalamualaikum inspired by, if you guys have ever read this like, popular book, Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, the last chapter, which was very meaningful, is the prophet giving advice in his farewell to his followers, and essentially telling them, no matter what you're going through, as long as you're seeking and longing, eventually you will see the truth, and you don't need to worry about this. And Michelle's going to read the passage here while I set up.
That which seems most feeble and bewildered in you is the strongest and most determined. Is it not your breath that has erected and hardened the structure of your bones? Is it not a dream which none of you remember having dreamt that built your city and fashioned all there is in it? Could you but see the tides of that breath, you would cease to see all else. And if you could hear the whispering of the dream, you would hear no other sound. But you do not see, nor do you hear, and it is well. The veil that clouds your eyes shall be lifted by the hands that wove it, and the clay that fills your ears shall be pierced by those fingers that kneaded it. And you shall see, and you shall hear. Yet you shall not deplore having known blindness, nor regret having been deaf. For in that day you shall know the hidden purposes in all things, and you shall bless darkness as you would bless light.
Oh, peace, please come to me. Feels like it's been years. Time is such a funny thing. Are you awake or are you waiting? Oh Lord, do you still hear me? Is that a knock on my door? Any sound in which direction? Like an echo or a whisper? You could feel the dreams inside your head. You could see the tides within your breath. Oh, how quickly we forget. It's not time to give in yet. Oh, patience, speak to me. It's been a long, long time. All these days getting older. Look back to the beginning. Oh, hope, please comfort me. Been through this before. When love seems an illusion,
Thank you, Michelle and Kasha. I know I'm somebody who wished that life had a soundtrack, like in TV shows. That's exactly what. And I'm looking forward to the repertoire for MWC Chicago. So that's coming soon. They don't know that, but it's coming. All right, 3 more of these. The shadow I hold tightly to is my mistake. What's the point of making them if I don't learn by remembering them? The shine I never knew I held is our depth. R stands out. Illuminated from my and these shadows has been love for myself. Next up, we have Rosina Kanchwala from Ecologic, who's going to talk to us about an upcoming environmentally focused art event.
I don't think she's here, so. You wanna do it? No, go ahead.
Woo! Just be quick.
I can show. Okay, I just want to bring your attention to this upcoming Eco Art event. If you're a performing artist or a visual artist, an upcoming Eco Art event. If you're a performing artist or visual artist, there's or if your art uses eco-friendly, refurbished, or upcycled materials, you can submit by August 25th, and there'll be an in-person event in September. So if you're interested, come see me and I can give you more info.
What is the name of the organization?
Ecological programs. I'm doing this for Rosina, so
Okay.
I don't know all the details, but I can get more information.
Okay, thank you.
If you're interested, we can probably connect you with Rosina. So
Yeah.
just let us know. Next, we'd like to share the stage with our hosts at the Abrahamic Center. Tonight we have Amara, the director, and Brianna, the programs associate. Can one or both of you come up and a little bit of that?
I don't need the mic, it's fine. I can do that. Hi everybody, Assalamualaikum. My name is Amra. I'm the manager of the Abrahamic Center for Cultural Education. I know a lot of you got to connect with Brianna. She's our programs associate. I'm a new mom, so I've been running around and taking care of my baby. So excuse me for that. But welcome, and we are an initiative of IFANCA, which is the Islamic Food and Nutrition Council of America. So for those of you that don't know, they're a global leader in halal certification, and we are one of their initiatives. We help them stay nonprofit, so we are fully funded by them, which is a huge blessing. And through them and our space, what we do is community events and trainings. We do programs. We work with CPS schools. We are part of the Chicago Cultural Alliance, and we basically do community education to help eradicate Islamophobia, right? So that might look like diversity training. That might look like art programs. That might look like author talks and movie nights and events like these. And so we're super excited to have Muslim Writers Collective. I think some of you might have been here before. A few years back, they hosted a stand-up comedy workshop. So that was really cool. So we're glad to have you guys back. And I hope you enjoy the space. I hope you enjoy the refreshments and keep coming back. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Amara. If we could get another round of applause for Amara and all of us. So we'll continue with some prompts here. Eliminated from my and these shadows has been healing and a reformed heart. The shadow I hold tightly to is regret. Going forward, I will illuminate my nieces' lives with unconditional love and non-judgment as they grow up. Next up, we have Jenna Hashu. Jenna is a creative at the depths of her. She enjoys expressing herself through song, dance, word, drawing, painting, video, and animation. She chooses not to limit herself to any form of art, even if she may not be a quote-unquote professional. Besides creating, she devotes her time to self-growth and understanding. She seeks to release all parts that are not truly her. And she does this by acknowledging herself. Early on in this journey of returning to herself, she discovered the power of her words. Her words allowed her to connect to parts of herself she never connected with before, and we're grateful for her sharing those with us today.
Hello, everyone. I'm super grateful to be here tonight. I'm super grateful for this opportunity to share myself with you guys and my words. I wrote a poem a few weeks ago. Usually when I'm feeling heavy and I'm feeling like there's a lot of emotions, I like to release them, and I do that with words. Sometimes I just write, and sometimes it comes out as a poem. It really just depends. So I'm gonna be reading a poem for you guys. Okay, I titled it "The Thoughts of Yesterday." The thoughts of yesterday replay in my mind as if it were today in rewind, with no clue on how to let it go. Maybe it's love that needs to show. How can I begin to explain these to you if I don't know what I'm feeling? I know I must speak. I am suppressing my own voice by keeping this inside. Maybe I should speak, even though it feels silly. To write feels less silly. But I must get over that so I can free my voice, so I can finally hear what I don't understand. In honesty, I know I must speak, but I'm choosing to remain in my mind. Give yourself that space you've never had, the freedom to speak with no judgment. Your voice has been suppressed, no understanding is felt. Don't remain in that state of suppression. Free your voice. Your voice holds power. That is the power of love. To free your voice is to free your power in love. The truth is, I don't like to speak. I feel like it takes from me. It's the suppression you feel. The real truth, you do want to speak. You feel like no one will listen, care, or understand. You learn to suppress your voice because no one truly listens. So to save yourself from pain, you don't speak. It is why you don't feel comfortable to speak. Even to yourself, it is fear of pain. I will free my voice because my voice has always been important. My voice is my power. I cannot continue to evolve without freeing my voice because my voice is important to my growth. I cannot grow if I don't listen to myself. I cannot grow if I'm suppressed. I know I have felt afraid to speak, but now that I'm home, I have the freedom. Take this as the first step into freeing yourself, to release the suppression you have felt. Your voice is beautiful. It's filled with wisdom. I will release the lump in your throat. The suppression of your voice created an energetic blockage in your throat. It manifested as pain in my throat. The pain arises when I don't allow myself to cry. The pain arises when I feel pain. When a wave of emotion hits me and I don't allow the release through tears or voice, the pain arises. I make a promise to you, to my past, future, and present self. I will free your voice. You will be heard. Your voice is beautiful. and you are deserving to be heard. How others made you feel is not who you are. It's okay to cry here. You don't have to hold back anymore. I am your safe space. I will listen. If I judge you, I'm sorry. I am breaking free from judgment. You don't deserve to be judged. You never did. But the life I've lived caused judgment within me. Because I know the truth. I know judgment is not who we are. I know judgment is fear, with the true judgment being towards yourself. You have a lot of things to say, but you must free your voice to say it all and be heard.
Woo!
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Jenna. I found that incredibly powerful. The ability to talk to ourselves, to recognize what's going on inside and why. That why is always really hard to get to. I couldn't help but think she had the conversation with the person sitting next to her. Also, she got to know that person. She shared it with us today. So thank you. Another prompt. The shine I never knew I held is confidence to be who I truly am. From light comes light, and from the light comes truth. With a capital T. Going forward, I will illuminate my ancestors' stories of surviving with the words, emotions, and pictures of their journey. Next up, we have Tawfiq Faraj. Tawfiq is a lifelong resident of Chicago. He currently lives in Berwyn with his fantastic wife, Yasmin, and his lovely daughters, Ahlam and Inara. Tawfiq used to serve on the MWC board.
Woo!
And loved every minute of it. We didn't write that, he did. Currently, he's on the board of Oak Park River Forest Community Trust Foundation and works at Merrill Lynch. Tawfiq, welcome back.
Howdy.
You forgot your mic, Tawfiq.
What? Oh, do I need a mic? Could you guys hear me? Thank you. Oh, I got it. Is this good?
Yes.
All right, I'll assume. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I didn't know if I would use the stool or not, so I told them. Oh, it came down. So I apologize. Thank you. It came down again. This is very illuminating. It was interesting. So I saw why I'm here tonight is I saw the actual ad, and illuminating is actually the meaning of my daughter's name, Inara. So Inara actually means illuminating. So I was like, oh, maybe that means something, that I should do something tonight. I don't know if it's good, but I thought maybe it means something that I should do something tonight. So I'm here by myself, without my daughter's support. Which I'll talk about later. So I thought before going into my main piece, one thing I do on Facebook, one of the few things I still do on Facebook, I don't have threads yet, it's called Unpopular Popular Opinion of the Day. So really what it is just like shining a light or illuminating maybe an opinion that you might secretly agree with, but too afraid to say it. So I'll say it for you. So actually I have a few of these musings, and you can snap your finger or hiss, depending on your, there is some controversy in here, so I welcome that, by the way. One, this is a doozy. Michael Jackson is overrated.
Oh, boo!
I have two daughters, and you would boo me. That's fine. By extension, Thriller is overrated.
Boo!
Wow, tough crowd. Adele is today's Barbra Streisand. Oh, thank you. Thank you, I knew it. See, this is the point of the opinions. Drew Barrymore is meh.
No.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the support. Oh, I see it all over. You're snapping in your heads. And the last one is Curb Your Enthusiasm is funnier than Seinfeld. Which, oh, thank you. All right. So, that covers my daughter, you know, the youngest one. So, I mean, there's not much impact that she gives right now. She's lovely, but she goos and gaws and, like, she's cute, but there's not much, like, impact that I have with her right now, right? It's just, it's the truth. Mothers know this of a 4-month-old, maybe. But really the main part of why I'm here is dealing with my second daughter, Ahlan. Her and I have a cultural exchange program. I mean, she's half Pakistani, half Palestinian. I'm 100% Palestinian, so like, technically there is a cultural exchange program. But she's a 5.5-year-old girl and I'm a 38-year-old man. So her world is completely different from mine. So what I've been trying to do is trying to understand her world just a little bit more. In return, she has to listen to some of the things that Dad likes. And if you've had a parent, you understand what I'm saying. So right now, just to recap where we're at in my life, I know about 6 Taylor Swift songs. 6. She likes Dua Lipa. I don't know how she got to it, but she did. And I know every song on Encanto, Moana, and Coco. Low-key fact, Dos Oruguitas is how I could say it. I don't know Spanish too well. Is the best song on the Encanto soundtrack. So thank you. I am on fire today. But in return, she has to listen to some of the things or watch some of the television that I love, so she understands where I'm coming from. So in return, she has started to like a certain family that resides in Springfield, Illinois. Thank you. That has Homer, Marge, Maggie, Lisa, and Bart. She actually knows Itchy and Scratchy, which means that she really watches the show, so she knows the cartoon within the cartoon. And her favorite expression now is dough. But the reason why I bring this up is I know there's some controversy in the Muslim world on whether or not I should even be allowing my daughter to watch The Simpsons. Some people think I'm absolutely insane that I've introduced The Simpsons at the age of 5.5 to my daughter, including my wife, who, I love her. You can say that I said that, and you don't have to give context on that. But the reason why I think it's important for her to watch it is one episode that means probably more than any piece of pop culture in the last, since I've been born. And specifically, the episode is when Bart sells his soul to Milhouse. And the reason why this is important is that it has fundamentally changed how I view mortality, the soul, and what it means to have a soul. I'll be vulnerable because it's a vulnerable space, which I'm happy for. The last year, I have lost my soul. I lost it. The decisions I've made in life led me to a place where I was no longer looking at a person I could recognize in the mirror. It was a fact. And it came to head in November of last year when my wife was about 4.5 months pregnant. 5 months pregnant, so even further along. Where she literally had to shake me out of my own days. Because I no longer could see the person who I wanted to be in the mirror. And so why does it come back to Bart selling his soul to Milhouse, meaning so much? Well, if you know the episode, I'll spare you all the details, but essentially, Bart sells his soul to Milhouse for $5, which in today's inflationary world is probably worth a small cup of coffee somewhere. I don't know where. Let's say Dunkin' for now. Nothing against Dunkin' Coffee. But upon selling his soul for $5, realizes how much of him is missing and how much of his joy is missing. And so throughout the whole episode, Bart is literally looking for his soul. Actually going back to Milhouse, realizing that Milhouse has sold Bart's soul to someone else for Elf Pogs. Now, half of you may not even know what Elf is, but it was a very popular show in the 80s. Just snap on your fingers if you know who Elf is. Oh, wow, this is a really young crowd. Google Elf, A-L-F. alien life form. That's all you need to know. But it was not until the end of the episode, where Bart is suffering and crying, that he realizes that the soul does come back to him via his sister Lisa. And Lisa actually goes and buys Bart's soul back for him. And he literally like crumbles the paper and eats it up, and he goes to sleep. But she says something at the end of the episode that I will take with me for the rest of my life, that I hope to pass on to both of my daughters, even though one doesn't understand the word that I'm saying right now. Which is, one is not born with a soul. One gains a soul through prayer, suffering, and just community and friends. And really, the message I want them to know is that even if they feel like they've lost their way, or that they're no longer having their soul inside of them, that by turning to the people who love them the most, that there's always a way back. And so that's really what I wanted to share tonight. And thank you. And I love the MWC board, for real. Like, I didn't write that as like platitude. These are very good people. So, good night.
Sit down for a bit too. That was really powerful. And I know Sufi started at the beginning by saying that his daughter wasn't with him. But those were stories about his daughter. How much he carries them with himself. And that was really powerful for me to hear. Because his soul had become part of his daughter's soul. Seeing those two together was really beautiful. And he also used her to express some wild opinions that we have to talk about. So a few more prompts. The shadow I hold tightly to is my loss because it reminds me to hold dear what is here. Going forward, I will illuminate my consciousness with lessons of love. The shine I never knew I held is perseverance. Sorry, my mom keeps messaging me to pick a couch and spin. I missed all the Prime Day. Yeah, getting kind of contentious. But next up, we have Rita Thalib. Rita Thalib is a Detroit native and the proud daughter of Lebanese immigrants. She's a grassroots servant leader whose body of work exists at the intersection of decarceration, civic engagement, entrepreneurship, and storytelling through podcasting, spoken word, and children's books. Rita is currently on a national book tour for her recent book, Nora's Extraordinary Superpower, a book for youth with incarcerated loved ones, and how to activate the innate superpower of empathy for healing. She is the recipient of numerous awards, including the Power of Stories Award from New Leaders Council, the National Organization for Progressive Change Movements. Rita, thanks for being here tonight.
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Walaikum assalam.
I elected to not have this tool, but since it's here, I might use it anyway, or maybe not. Feeling a tad bit shorter than I already am, so I'm just gonna move it over here. So it's a real joy to be here with all of you. I come from Detroit, but I also live and work in New York City, so just across the lake from you all. If you've ever visited Detroit, you know it's a short flight here, but thank you for having me. To illuminate is to make something visible or to explain the meaning of something. So tonight I thought I could share some pieces with you that I hope will illuminate where we've been, where we are, and where we need to go in order to reimagine a more just and equitable Chicago and world. This first poem I wrote during the height of the pandemic those moments along the river of my life were ripe with so many lessons and silver linings that I'm sure so many of you can relate. One of them was to never take for granted the privilege of being gathered here in person in sacred spaces like this. And another one was the importance of centering marginalized voices, especially women of color. Because those of us proximal to the issues we are struggling to overcome, we are the closest to the solutions, but we remain furthest from the power and the resources necessary for true systemic change. At times, we were barely trying to stay alive, and yet we were fighting for our liberation under lockdown. Liberation under lockdown. Midnight embers crackle when she speaks. The sparks of her intellect reflect a hard-won vision to heal this deep incision that nearly broke her but woke her up to the dawn of a new day. Don't you know that her voice is a revolution, a just and nurturing solution? Feel the warmth of her curvy frame and strip away the claim that you own her. Flesh becomes the brown earth, poisoned by your pollution, your appetite for execution. 6 feet apart or 6 feet under, said they created steel bar cages, not for just us. Just us. We still call out for protection from this systemic infection. Cover your face with a mask. Is that really too much to ask? The hysteria brought clarity. Does my pain bear a similarity? This next poem I wrote when reflecting on our criminal legal system. Bias is already codified not just into our laws, but it is being codified into machines and technology right now more than ever. There's a wonderful organization that I'd like to share with you tonight. It's called Algorithmic Justice League. It's an organization that combines art and research to illuminate the social implications and harms of artificial intelligence. Codified redemption. Sequence, numbers, and patterns. Arabic roots bear the fruits to formulate algorithmic bias designed to destroy the highest within us. Objectivity, does it truly exist? Are we suited, booted, and ready to resist so-called life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? How did we go from pointing to the sky, connecting the stars and naming their brilliance, illuminating the galaxies we come from, to dimming the newest within us? My heritage used to weaponize our bodies, prejudice codified into AI machines and robots, into state-sponsored surveillance of Black and brown bodies. What do we truly embody? Unfair, unreasoned distortion of judgment, countering violent extremism policies? Yeah, right. January 6th insurrection fallacies. Domestic terrorists is this country's legacy. Punishment codified, redemption nullified. This last poem is about our future and the importance of forgiveness, healing, and joy. This poem came to me when I was working, and my body suddenly told me, like many of you can relate, that it was time to stretch and take a break. So as I was standing near the window, sort of basking in the sun, the universe had this really uncanny way of providing an opportunity for a breakthrough, when really all I wanted to do was take a break, just to get through. Harmony. In just one glance, she caught a glimpse of his honey-glazed, almond-shaped eyes that sparkled when touched benured gems. In just one glance, she caught a glimpse of her deep-rooted dimples that adorned her heart-shaped lips and absorbed the weight of humanity. She smiled to change the world. In just one glance, she caught a glimpse of their two souls merging, blending, harmonizing into a vision that at one moment in time created such a devastating collision. In just one glance.
decision, that instant healing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. I know that working as a therapist, you hear a lot of stories from people who are quite young, quite old, and this type of work is essential for children to hear from a young age. So, really big thank you to Rita. I know she mentioned it was a short flight out, but rumor has it she flew United, so there's no way that was short, and there's no way she has her bag. So, one thing I wanted to mention is we have one more performance, and we will open up the stage for anybody who would like to come up and perform. If that's something you're interested in, the back room is also open if you'd like to prepare, take some space for yourself. We'll read some more prompts here. The shine I never knew I had is I can be nice to anyone. From light comes light, and from the light comes word. The shine I never knew I held is a can-do attitude. Next up, we have Shades of Green. Shades of Green is an emerging collective of Chicago-based musicians, bringing together the diverse talents of Kashif Sheikh, Michelle Caddy, Khalid Haroun, Omar Ibrahim, and Jerry Joseph. United by their shared passion of music as a vehicle for dhikr, or remembrance, and awakening the heart, their themes encompass all elements of the spiritual journey, the beauty and the challenges of finding one's way to God, of longing for the divine, and the ecstasy of being with him, as well as honoring the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his community, and the saints who guide us towards the path of love. Shades of Green incorporate Sufi poetry and music from across the Middle East and South Asia, spanning centuries of mystical reflections, fusing modern instrumentation and contemporary spiritual issues in order to show the timelessness and the universality of the journey, the source, as well as the destination. Please welcome Shades of Green.
Everybody, while everyone is setting up, I want to give a brief overview. We're going to play a couple of songs. They're interpretations, three very old and very different Sufi songs. They're from different poets from entirely different regions of the world, different time periods, different languages. The thing that unites all of them is that each song is about an important phase of the journey to God. They help us see the universality and oneness of our existence. We all come from the same source, end up in the same destination, even if the path between them might greatly vary between individuals and their own circumstances. The evolution of one phase to another happens when God graces us with the inner knowledge we need to grow and move forward. When we're ready, He illuminates our heart with His divine light in order to guide us to the next step. These songs cover some very notable phases in the journey. The first song is a mashup of two pieces. One's by Rabindranath Tagore, he's a Bengali mystic, and the song is about the longing for truth. The seeker is searching everywhere but can't get more than a glimpse, and he just wants more. The second part of that mashup is by Kabir, who's considered a saint in Hindu and Muslim traditions in India. His part is a response from God, representing a stage where the follower begins to really understand that God doesn't exist in the material universe, but He resides inside the human heart. The next song, the second song we'll play, is by Bulleh Shah, the Sufi poet from the Punjab region of Pakistan. This song represents one of the most advanced spiritual stages, the stage where the seeker finds peace in the moment, whether that moment is rain or shine. The seeker sees the divine breath and beauty in everything. being alone with God brings a secret ecstasy. And inshallah, may we all reach that spiritual station. Can we go to the next slide? Actually, it has a translation. I'll help you guys.
We were wondering.
And Michelle,
sorry.
Oh yeah, wait, say the translation.
We would love if you guys would join in at the end. I will cue you. You can follow along if you want to hum, if you want to sing. There's a beautiful line. There. So yeah, just follow along. You'll know, and just enjoy yourself to the music.
Try it with us once.
Yeah.
So we know you have it.
So repeat after me. Yeah, you guys sound great. Awesome. Okay, you should join the band.
Okay, here we go. While Kashi was getting ready, so one of the things we loved about the song is it's a call and response. The first part of the tug of war song is the person asking, like, sometimes I can see you, God, but not always. And where are you, right? It's just this call. And then in the other song, we can switch back. In the other song, it's basically God answering that you can look for me at the masjid, the temple, all these different places, but know that I'm close by. I'm right beside you. So you don't have to look everywhere. God is.
It's actually a mashup of two different songs. But they're put together.
Sorry guys, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Thanks, guys. Encore. Encore.
One more.
I'm still hot. Love another one.
Next time. We'll take a break and come back. There we go.
Next time.
I saw all your updates too. What is it? Oh gosh, they don't have that many. I don't know. Yeah. Nice seeing you. Probably came after.
You guys ever been to the harmonies?
Yes.
You're not anything. Such a waste of talent.
I literally made that today. All it has is pictures. But it's going to happen. Great job, Kylie. Make it a goal for that.
Were you around?
Oh, your voice is amazing. Sorry, I gotta
How are you?
Jason Green, another round of applause.
Thank you, Shades of Green. I can't help but think of one of the quotes that was up here that said, "Why are you searching for me? I'm right beside you." And hear that in every one of the performances we had tonight. Jaina talked about how she discovered the person who was beside her, and inside her strong voice. Sophie talked about his daughters being beside Thumb, and Thumb being beside him. Saida talked about being a teacher and literally working to stand beside him. Afan came up here and performed for the first time and talked about a teacher who was up here in some way. Rita, for reminding us that injustice will not stop us from standing beside each other. And I think when we think of that message, there's not a lot that we can't do. And things are going to be tough, they're going to be difficult, but hopefully they won't be too long. We will have a opportunity for people to come up here and perform if you'd like to. I'll be over there and we'll get you mic'd up. While you're mulling it over, Lali is going to come up here and talk a little bit about her work. So please welcome Lali.
Hello everyone, this is totally unexpected. I just spoke with these guys about it. My name is Mehreen Khalid, I go by Lali. I moved here December 30th. I'm a photographer and assistant professor of photography. I've been in the field for 20 plus years. I wanted to come and talk to everyone because I've been working on a few different projects. My work is predominantly focusing on the representation of Muslim immigrants that exist in the US and how biased it is. I'm also working on I'm taking photographs of the prejudice that exists in the legal system because I've been stuck in it for the past 5 years. So you can go and look at my work at Lali Khalid Photography on Instagram or lalikhalid.com. I'll be here. You can contact me. I'm looking for subjects for the Muslim Immigrants Project. The project is still photograph as well as audio. So if you're interested in getting your voice heard or talking about some of these issues, please come and talk to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, everyone, we have a couple performers. Everyone? We have a couple performers who are going to come up and perform for us. First up, we're going to have Noor, who's going to sing for us. So please welcome Noor.
While I'm over here without a mic, could you guys hear me?
There you go.
No? Maybe? Alright, you guys, this is a song kind of in the making. I'm a little bit nervous. Still kind of working on the melody, so we'll see where it goes. That's my cousin. Lately I've been finding myself in the darkest places, looking for some help, but I only see empty faces. And how did I get here, living my worst fears? How did I get here, living my worst fears? But you have to illuminate me. You have to illuminate my heart. empty faces. And how did I get here? Living my worst fears. How did I get here? Living my worst fears. But you helped illuminate me. You helped illuminate my heart. You helped revive the light inside me that I once thought had died. You helped remind me not to lose my fight. Working through the shadows and the darkness, you have helped me to see. What's in the dark is not always lost. There are endless possibilities. And you helped illuminate me. You helped illuminate my heart. You helped revive the light inside me that I once thought had died. And just like the sun, it rises and it falls. Just like the leaves turning in the fall. Just like me, I had to break and lose it all to find myself again. I pray to illuminate the light around me and set free all the sorrows behind me.
I think to go off Kofi's opinions piece, we might have a new Ariana Grande. But we have one more performer, and Nosasper's going to talk. She doesn't know this, but she's going to talk about an upcoming event. So, thank you, Nasa.
So we would love, well, first of all, thank you guys so much for coming out here. We hope you're enjoying the space, enjoying the art. We hope this is inspiring for some of you who are maybe contemplating performing at our next event. Please follow us at on Instagram. Our handle is at MWC_CHI. So there is a national MWC, but if you follow the one specific for Chicago, you'll see events specific for Chicago. So at MWC_CHI. We are actually going to be collaborating with the Museum of Contemporary Art in November. So mark your calendars. November 28th, it's a Tuesday night. It is also a free night at the Museum of Contemporary Art, so admission is free. We will be hosting another open mic. The artist on the exhibit is on Faith Ringle. And so if you guys want to kind of Google her, they'll have more information on the Museum of Contemporary Art's website in the next few weeks, actually. So you'll get to see the announcement of the collaboration, but you guys get first, this is our first time kind of announcing it in public. So November 28th, Tuesday, MWC at MCA, which is huge, and we're so excited about it. So.
Thanks, Nasa. And to close us out, we're going to have Zaina, who's a college sophomore, who uses the medium of writing and spoken word. So please welcome Zaina.
Assalamualaikum everybody. My name is Zaina, and again I'm a college sophomore. I wrote this poem back in February after the earthquakes that affected Turkey and Syria. And I wrote it because I just wanted to organize my thoughts about just the scope and the toll that it took on all the communities affected, and to kind of contextualize my feelings about the international response. And with the theme of tonight being Illuminate, I wanted to kind of connect this to say that there are people at the core of all of these major world issues and these major world debacles, and we shouldn't forget that. We should come together and unite and help people regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, etc., etc. So this poem is titled Shaheed, and there's a content warning. This will be a little heavier. So again, here is Shaheed. My love, close your eyes. Let the tension bleed from your bones. Unclench your jaw, dry your tears. Though you could barely reach the plates of the cabinets, and you were still memorizing your times tables, Allah decided that it's time for you to meet him. Where you are, it's dark and dusty. No place for a kid like you. You should be running through lush, green fields, the sun warming your face, and the blue sky to your back. My love, you won't have to hear the crash of rubble around you, or the sobbing of people suddenly left alone. Not anymore. You will have no need to be angry or bitter. would be old enough to realize that your people were regarded as collateral damage in big wars fought by big people who seemed so far away. Darling, you will not be forced to understand that the world accepted your life as payment for their hatred, and that they still do not see that the innocent are the innocent, no matter the color of their skin or the way that they bow themselves to their creator. That your only crime was being born in a place that is overlooked, sanctioned, villainized, suffocated. You will not have to wait while you turn frail and weak for the world to watch, for the world to care, for the world to come together and aid their fellow humans. No, Allah didn't want you to feel all of that. He wants you to only feel happiness now. He'll make sure there's only room for joy and relief and safety. Your Creator will not let you suffer anymore. So close your eyes, my love. Let the tension bleed out from your bones, unclench your jaw, dry your tears. Relax with me for a little longer, just until you can hear the birds and feel the bright sun and meet your Lord with a warm smile.
Thank you, Zaina, bringing the voices, those suffocated, alienated, into the light. If we could have all the artists, including everybody who performed here at the end, come on out, it'd be great. So please come on out, and we'd like to give you another round of applause.
All right, thank you all so much.
Thank you guys to MWC for hosting and for giving others the opportunity at the end. I was nervous. So, thank you guys.
So I'd like to thank the whole MWC board, both past and present. So Asif is over here. We have Naza over here. Caitlin, I believe, was over there. Sana is over there. We have Tawfiq, who's important to recognize where we come from. Nida, who wasn't able to be here tonight, as well as Taha, who wasn't able to be here tonight, but are always part of our inspiration.
Or Sadia.
And also Sadia, who we are from the same hometown, and we had the same sisters were born at the same hospital. So close connection to her that you didn't need to know. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but we're gonna end by thanking everybody from the Abrahamic Center, Brianna and Amara. And now I have to do the thing where I ask you to please exit quickly because we gotta get this place.
But also, could you pick up your garbage? And there's recycling and garbage on that side. So please, that would be very helpful. Thank you so much. And our cards are here, and these are postcards if you guys want to put them on your fridge or whatever. Send them to your friends.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
MashaAllah, that's beautiful. She's also got a butt baby.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, that was the stream. 90 minutes. This is an artist collective.
It's a life experience. No, but I also I feel like I'm not having it away. Also not being able to hear. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like there's these outward senses and they're inadequate.
Yeah, Twitch.
Oh, are you live? How many viewers?
Just one right now.
Oh, one viewer. Hi, one viewer. Probably you.
Do you guys need any help taking stuff down or anything? We need to kind of we can be quick in cleaning it up. Just want to make sure it's organized.
No, it's time to back up.
Really
Go.
cool. Hey, hello.
That's it.
Well, we'll be fast.
Let us know. Yeah, thank you. Let me just move